Hi guys, today I want to teach you how to do a spirit-to-spirit conversation. This is a really important skill in my opinion. It's something I use all the time and it can really change your life for the better. So, what is a spirit-to-spirit conversation and why would we have one? A spirit-to-spirit conversation is when you actually have a conversation with somebody else's spirit, as in not with their person, not with their body, but only with their spirit, okay? So, what this will look like is a conversation in your mind, a conversation that it feels like you might be making it up. But the secret is that if you try it, you will see that it's a little bit realer than it appears. When you do a spirit to spirit conversation, for your first one, I'm going to recommend doing it in the car. I love having these conversations in the car because, especially as a driver or even as a passenger, in a car, you are not used to looking at the person that you're talking to while you talk. Okay. So what I like to do, I'll do it while I'm driving, or if I just need to have this conversation, I'll just go sit in my car, roll down the windows or whatever, turn on the AC if needed, and just start talking. And what you're going to do is imagine the person that you need to have this conversation with, and you're going to have them sit right next to you in the car or in your real life. If you're sitting in the kitchen as I am, like imagine them next to you and you're going to have a real conversation. You can speak it verbally or you can have it in your mind. Sometimes it's nice to write it down so that you have a record of what you say and then what you imagine them saying back. But you're going to start off by saying whatever it is that you need to say. You say it. I'm doing this because you could like write it down. This can be very powerful because then you can go back and reread these conversations if it is helpful to you. But then you're going to imagine their response to you. Okay, you're going to imagine this person being there with you as if they truly were there. Imagine their face, imagine their skin, their hair, like imagine their body next to you. You're going to speak. When you're done saying what you had to say, you're going to let them speak and you're going to imagine this as if you are making it up. But you will find as you do this that it actually sounds a lot like they are actually saying it. Okay. And this is going to initiate this conversation. A conversation, of course, implies a two-way discussion where you speak and then they speak, and you speak and they speak. And that really is how it is best done, is to you say your piece and then you allow them to respond. Sometimes these things can be long, sometimes they're very short. Sometimes you might have a situation where their spirit's like, yeah, I don't want to have this conversation. They're like, no, and they will not participate. And you'll say, did I just make up that they did not want to participate with me? I don't know. You can decide that for yourself. But the beautiful thing about these conversations is that even though it's taking place in your mind and it's not a verbal conversation on the phone or face to face with somebody, a lot of times you see actual real results from having these kinds of conversations. I've had an enormous amount of conversations like this, and almost 100% of the time when I do this, I start seeing things shifting almost immediately. There was a time where I was very upset with somebody in my life, and I thought, okay, I cannot take this anymore. I'm going to go lock myself in the car and like hash it out with them because I did not want to have this conversation in real life. I instinctively knew that having this conversation in real life was not going to go very well, but I still needed to have it. I still needed to say the things that I needed to say. And so I went into my car, I imagined the other person on the other side of the car, and I had this conversation. And I imagined what I had to say, and I imagined what they had to say. I cried, you know. I felt a lot of big feelings coming up as if it were a real conversation. And at the end of it, I felt like this other person was like, you know what? I'm sorry. I did not realize how much this was affecting you, and I'm going to do better. That was a conversation that happened in my mind. Okay. But when I uh, got back to my normal life, this other person actually was really different. And they actually apologized to me for what they had done. I did not verbally talk to them, but it was like their spirit knew that they had hurt me and that they needed to apologize. Okay. So that is just one example, but this has happened over and over and over again. I remember when one of my sons was in kindergarten, he had a bully, and I told him, okay, we gotta ho'oponopono this, and I'll make another video about that a different day. But that's where you basically tell them, like, I'm sorry, I please forgive me, thank you, I love you, and you just like have this little conversation in your mind with them. It's like a mini spirit to spirit conversation with a set schedule, not a schedule, but like a script. Okay, you like read the script, do the script in your mind, and see some big changes. So I had him do some of that, and then I said, okay, well, let's just have a conversation with this bully and see what happens. And so I walked him through, saying, hey, bully, I feel so sad about how you treat me at school, and I'm feeling really upset. What do you have to say about this? And then he imagined that this bully said, I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings. I'm having a hard time myself. Life at my home is not that great, and I feel stressed all the time, and I'm just a little kindergartner, and I don't know what else to do with myself. And so we had this conversation back and forth, where then my son is imagining saying like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know you had such a hard time. I'm so sorry." And the kid said, "Well, thank you for your, feelings." We had this conversation. And the next day, the bully, you know, basically, I don't think he apologized, but he kind of, you know, did in like that little awkward little kid way. He stopped bugging my son, basically. Like the situation resolved literally overnight as a result of Ho'oponopono and a spirit to spirit conversation. Okay. So these can be extremely, extremely effective. And I really hope that you give them a try. If there's somebody in your life that you need to have a spirit to spirit conversation with, uh, this is a great option. Those people that you're like, I wish I could just tell them how much they hurt me. I wish I could tell them thank you. I wish that I could tell them I'm sorry. I wish that I could make things right. Have you ever had a situation where you hurt somebody, then they were so mad at you, you knew that you could never like actually talk with them about it ever again because they didn't want to see you? Like, this is a great opportunity to apologize and try and make things right on a spirit to spirit level. Um, there are just a lot of ways that you can use this, and you can see some really big shifts in your life as you do. So today I just want to challenge you to think about who you need to have these conversations with, and sit down and have one. Go into your car and have that conversation and see how it goes and see what things shift in your life um, as a result of that work. I really know that this can be an effective way to start shifting big stuff in your life. So with no further ado, hop to it. Good luck and enjoy your spirit to spirit conversation. Please let me know in the comments how it goes. If you have one, you can go into my Facebook group, Intuitive Healing with Ali Duzette, and share your experience if you would like. We would all love to hear it. And it's a group full of people who get it because we do this kind of thing. And we will all love to hear how it goes for you. Okay. Have the best day. Bye, guys.